नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning, Shubhodayam. The session is drawing to a close. You will be with us only for a few days. Then there will be a gap of 1 month. If you continue to the next level, then we'll meet again in June. Don't waste summer. Try to read good books, Holidays. Please see page number 47. The remedy for weakness is not brooding over weakness, but thinking of strength. Teach men of the strength that is already within them. Whatever you think that you will be, if you think yourselves weak, weak you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. A very simple quote. Whatever you think that you will be, if you think yourself weak, weak you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. So, it's a very simple formula to make ourselves strong. You need to pay attention to the mind. This is called spiritual training of the mind. We need to nurture the mind. We need to cultivate the mind. We need to train the mind. A trained mind doesn't make mistakes. An untrained mind, a scattered mind, makes mistakes again and again and makes us fail in life. I have already told you that to achieve anything in life, the only instrument that we have is this mind. How efficient it is, how focused it is, how concentrated it is, how well trained it is. And that depends how quickly you'll achieve success in life, how quickly you gain a skill. So, if you don't pay attention what happens, the nature of the mind is such. It picks up a negative thought and broods on that. You're not noticing it, right? You're not observing it. You're not paying any attention to it. You're not mindful of it. So, Vedanta, what is human being? Manasam Viddhi Manavam. Human being means not just his flesh and blood. Human being means not just flesh and blood. Manasam Viddhi Manavam. Manava. The word has come from Manas. Because you have Manas, you have become Manava. Because you have mind, you are a human being. So, it needs to be trained, it needs to be cultivated. If you don't pay attention, it picks up a negative thought and makes you brood on that constantly. And then slowly makes you become weaker and weaker. And ultimately, you may get totally dissipated also. Many people are, people who are getting into depression. What is that depression means? They picked up a negative thought and then brooded on it continuously. Okay? I cannot do it. I cannot do it. It won't be possible with me. You just pick up that thought and keep on brooding on it. Keep on repeating the same thing again and again, day after day, day after day, day after day. Totally the energy will go away. Completely the individual becomes an invalid person. That's how people get into depression. The opposite of it is pick up a positive thought. It is possible with me. I can achieve it. All power is within me. There is that infinite behind me. I'm not just the wave, that infinite ocean is behind me. The power of the Almighty is behind me. You are ready to help me, to push me forward. Have this kind of positive thought and then brood on that. Every day give this suggestion to your mind. It's called auto suggestion. Keep on giving this. You will grow in energy, you will grow in strength by the day. So much so that once actually you touch the spirit, okay, you will conquer the world, the infinite. You can gain the infinite. Infinity is there already within us. As Swamiji says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within. How that will happen? Only when you nurture the mind, cultivate the mind. As I've already told you, repetition of God's name is one thing that actually makes the mind calm. It becomes restful. Now the restless and scattered mind gets focused and restful when actually you make it repeat God's name. God and his name are one and the same. That's why it is there in every religious tradition and in every spiritual culture. They ask you to insist you to take up this spiritual practice, which is a very simple spiritual practice. Meditation and other things are difficult, right? You have to take time off for that. You have to focus the mind. As soon as you close the mind, so many thoughts will come, right? And sometimes already negative thoughts are too many negative thoughts are there. Then they will frighten you, and you can't sit peacefully. Meditation requires a lot of training. Okay, it requires actual guidance from a preceptor, from a guru, from a proper teacher. But repetition of God's name doesn't need anything, right? Simply you keep on doing it. Mind will not go here and there because God and His name are one and the same. So, what is God? We mean God means that power, that force which has created this universe. Is it an ordinary force? Is it an ordinary intelligence? You just look at the universe, how phenomenal it is, how much of genius, how much of intelligence is involved in it. Right? A small seed we sow into the soil, small seed, tiny seed, huge tree will come out of it. How many chemical reactions are taking place? What is happening within that seed for it to get transformed into a seed, tree? No scientist has unraveled it. It is such a mystery. What we know is only tip of the iceberg, 0.0001% about this universe. So such an intelligence is involved in this universe. And the maker of that universe, the creator of the universe, how much more intelligent he must be. So when you utter God's name, actually you are taking the help of that power which has created this universe. Have that faith and have that belief. Slowly energy will get added to you. More power will come, more strength will come. Everybody is saying it's not possible. I am only an ordinary human being. I am just flesh and blood. No. There is that infinite behind. Nalpe sukam asti. Bhumatveva sukam. Nothing limited can ever give you real happiness. This body and mind are limited things, but behind this unlimited, the infinite spirit, infinite consciousness is there. You must gain access to that. How you will gain access to this? Through repetition of God's name. You are calling out to that infinite whenever you utter God's name. But these are all the spiritual practices. By using this, people like Vivekananda became so powerful because they could gain access to that infinite power which was residing in them. It is residing in us also, but we don't gain access. We don't have access to that. So these are the practices that you need to adopt. Whatever you think that you will become, if you think yourself weak, you will become automatically. If you think yourself strong, strong you will become. You know, today doctors classify 80% of the diseases as psychosomatic, mind-born. Mind and body are interconnected. When the mind becomes negative and weak, that negative energy is transmitted to every cell in the body. And if there is prolonged stress or anxiety in your mind, okay, that affects the body in a negative way. Today they say that even cancer also because of this stress only, prolonged stress. Body can withstand stress for few days, for few weeks, but there is stress for months together, body will break down. It's just a matter of time before actually some disease manifests through your body when the mind becomes weak. As people are not paying any attention to the mind and they casually conduct themselves. And afterwards, when the disease comes, then you have to get admitted in the hospital and it will burn a hole in your pocket. Sometimes you may have to sell off all your property to pay for that medical expenditure. All because the individual has not paid any attention to his or her mind. So it's important that you nurture the mind, you cultivate the mind. My thoughts should be in my control. How my mind is working. Is it working in favor of me or is it working against me? As an educated people, it's our responsibility to pay attention to the mind and to nurture it well. Feed it with positive thought. Feed it with strength-giving thoughts on a regular basis. Then at least you will not fall sick. With a more positive mind is full of positive vibes. It will transmit that positive energy to every cell in the body. Then physical health also becomes possible. 80% of the diseases is psychosomatic. The mind has already fallen sick. That sickness it will transmit to the body. And then it's money, right? You have to pay for money for medical if you want to get cured. But there is no true solution also because you take these medicines and there are side effects and side effects. Then you become a chronic patient and a patient for life. Where is quality of life? So it's very important that you pay attention to your mind. Mind plays a major role in our lives. Don't neglect it, okay? Thank you. Have a nice day.